So today we are going to start polynomials part 1. There are some concepts used. Number one, what are polynomials? As you know that any algebraic expression which is written in the form of, we write px is equal to a raised to power, a n x raised to power n plus a n minus 1 x raised to power n minus 1, so on. A 2x square, a1x plus a0, and x0, no need to write x0, where n is a whole number and a0, a2 coefficients of x are real numbers. Where n is a whole number, it is compulsory n should be a whole number. If it is root or fraction, then it is not a polynomial. So that we studied already in class 9. So n is a whole number and coefficients of x, a0, x, x square, x cube, all these numbers are real numbers. These are real numbers. Okay. Then it is called a polynomial. This is the definition of a polynomial. Then second thing is, what are the zeros, or we can say roots also sometimes, roots of a polynomial. The roots or zeros of a polynomial are the value if the values of the values of x of a polynomial px, which on substituting in px will result 0, means will give us 0, means any value which when substituting will give the 0 are called zeros of the polynomial, means which satisfies the value of which satisfies the polynomial. The values of x which satisfied the polynomial are called the zeros of the polynomial.
Sir,
Zeros
they
of
are also called roots, right? Roots of polynomial.
They are also called roots of the polynomial sometimes. Actually, roots we are using for generally equations, not for polynomials. Hmm? But
Yes.
sometimes in some books they used to write roots, so that's why you must know. Otherwise, for quadratic or cubic equations, the values which satisfying the equation is called are called roots. So the difference is, for example, if we see the example, suppose px is equal to, you have x square minus 5x plus 6. Okay, suppose let px is a polynomial, this one. So this is a polynomial, and now if we put 3 here, suppose we are checking that which number will give the 0. You put 3 here, so this will become 3 square minus 5 into 3 plus 6. Solve it. 3 3 is a 9, minus 5 3 is a 15, plus 6, 9 plus 6, 15. minus 15 is equal to 0. So we got 0. Therefore, 3 is a 0 of the polynomial, given polynomial. It is a 0 of px. Okay. Similarly, if we put 2 also, because if it is a quadratic polynomial, it will have two values. It will have two zeros. So P2, if you will put P2, 2 to the 4, minus 5 to the 10, plus 6, also you get 0. So therefore 2 is also a 0. So we can say 2 and 3 are the zeros. 2 is also a 0 of this polynomial Px. So zeros and polynomials. So values which satisfies the polynomial are called the zeros of the polynomial. Correct? And how to find that is that we will study one by one. So zeros of a polynomial. That means one more thing you should know, that we will be given the polynomials in different types, like linear polynomial, quadratic polynomial, cubic polynomial. So if a linear polynomial has, so there are some facts you must know, that, or in mathematically we can say a real number is said to be a 0 of a polynomial if px is equal to pk is equal to 0. If we can write this definition also in mathematical form, that a uh, real number real number k a real number k is called 0 of a polynomial px if pk is equal to 0. You will put value of x as k and you get 0, then it is a polynomial. So same thing, it is mathematically defined, and this is in my words I have defined this one. Okay, but you should understand they are not going to ask the definition. So some other facts you should remember about it. A linear polynomial. Linear polynomial, you know that what are linear polynomial which have only power of x is 1, like ax plus b. This is a linear polynomial. It has degree 1. So linear polynomial. Okay. So a linear polynomial has one and only one zero. Whatever is the degree or power of x is called the degree. So whatever is the degree, that will be the number of zeros. That polynomial will have the number of zeros equal to its degree. So a linear polynomial has one and only one, has one and only one zero. Obviously, for example, this suppose 3x plus 2, we have given the linear polynomial 3x plus 2. So the way to find out 0 is you have to equate 0 and find the value of x. So this will become minus 2 if you will equate the x is equal to minus 2 by 3. So minus 2 by 3 will satisfy this equation. Okay. You put minus 3 by 2, 3 into minus 2 by 3, sorry. Minus 2 by 3 plus 2, 3 and 3 will cancel, minus 2 plus 2, 0. So linear polynomial will have only one zero. Okay. Then we have quadratic polynomial. Second type of polynomial is what? Degree 2. Degree 2 means we can say quadratic polynomial can be written as, in the standard form, it can be written as ax square plus bx plus c. So degree 2. So it is called quadratic polynomial. Quadratic polynomial. quadratic polynomial. So quadratic polynomial has degree 2, so a quadratic polynomial has at most 2 zeros. A quadratic polynomial has at most at most 2 zeros. Sometimes it has 1 zero, both times the same value, repeated zeros. Only one value is satisfied, so this will, it has only, it looks like one, but that is repeated polynomial, that is repeated roots. So two roots if are repeated, that's why we use the word at most. Then cubic polynomial, similarly a cubic polynomial means which has degree 3. It will be written as a cubic polynomial. You know that ax cube, in standard form we can say ax cube plus bx square plus cx plus d. So if the degree of x is 3, then it is a cubic polynomial, and cubic polynomial has at most at most 3 zeros. At most 3 zeros. And in general, a polynomial of degree n has at most n zeros. So whatever the degree, that will be the number of polynomials. Okay. And a linear polynomial, the graph of a linear polynomial is a straight line always. The graph of a linear polynomial is a straight line always. The graph of a linear polynomial px is equal to ax plus b is always a is always a straight line. Okay. So these are the facts you have to remember. Quadratic polynomial. Now, what will be the, these are the graphs. We can find the graphs of polynomials by their degree. We can find out the graph of polynomials. So without drawing, we can tell the nature of graph, which type of the graph will be there for which polynomial. So nature of graph of a polynomial. So if a polynomial is a linear polynomial, then its graph will be a straight line like this. If we are going to suppose draw the graph of a polynomial, so this is y-axis, x-axis, and this will be anywhere straight line. Can be here, it can be here like this. This is the graph of a polynomial of degree 1, that is linear polynomial. Got it? This is x-axis and this is y-axis, y dash, and this is a line, suppose AB. So this line can be anywhere, but it will be a straight line. The graph of a linear polynomial is a straight line. Then quadratic polynomial, and you know that quadratic polynomial, there are graph of a quadratic polynomial is a parabola. Means always the first point you remember that graph of a, what will be the shape of a graph of a quadratic polynomial. So graph of a quadratic polynomial, quadratic polynomial is is in the shape of a parabola. In the shape of a parabola. You know the parabola, parabolic shape. So parabola means the parabolas are like this. We draw this. This is a parabola, and this will never end. Means they will go on going away from each other. These two ends. Similarly, here this is also parabola. Now, which type of parabola? This is opens upward and opens downward. So quadratic polynomial is denoted by, generally this quadratic polynomial is denoted by ax square plus bx plus c. Now it depends on a whether it is this parabola opens upward or downward. So it depends on the value of a. So if a is greater than 0 means positive. If a is greater than 0, if a is greater than 0 means positive. Okay. A is greater than 0, it is positive, and it will have parabola opens upward. Its graph will be parabola which opens upward. Means its graph will be like this. Okay, and it will intersect at a maximum of two distinct points at x-axis. So intersect the graph of a quadratic polynomial intersects at most 2 points. It can touch on 1 point, or it can intersect x-axis at a maximum of two distinct points. So I'll write that point also. If a is less than 0 means if a is negative, just you check if before x square 2 is written, then its graph will be like this. If a is negative means minus 2x minus 3x, then the graph will be the parabola. It is a parabola which opens downward, which opens downward, downward. Means its graph will be like this, opens downward. Okay, and another point is you can say one more thing that the graph of quadratic polynomial intersect x-axis at a maximum of two distinct points. Graph of quadratic polynomial, graph of quadratic polynomial intersect x-axis, intersect x-axis means it can touch also. It can intersect at the most of 2 points, or it can touch. Means it can be like this on x-axis. Okay, and this is a y-axis, and it can be like this. Suppose this is a x-axis and this is y-axis, so it can be like this also. Means at the most 2 points a and b, it intersects x-axis at 2 points. Here it is intersecting or touching at 1 point, only 1 point. It can intersect the x-axis at a maximum of two distinct points. At a maximum of is minimum 1 point and maximum 2 points. If the I'll tell you when 1 point means it will have same values of the two zeros. If two zeros are same, it will touch. If two zeros are different, it will intersect at maximum of two distinct points. Distinct means they are not same. Distinct means different points at two distinct points. So these are the facts. that you have to remember. And cubic polynomial, graph of cubic polynomial intersect at maximum 3 distinct points. Graph of cubic polynomial intersect at the most 3 distinct points, and will intersect x-axis at 3 distinct points. Then you can understand that this is the graph of a cubic polynomial. So the graph of a cubic polynomial, graph of a cubic polynomial. Cubic polynomial means you will write like ax is equal to ax cube, ax cube plus bx square plus cx plus d. Graph of cubic polynomial intersect x-axis, intersect x-axis at at most 3 distinct points. 3 distinct points. Okay. So if degree is 2, it will intersect at 1 point. If degree is 1, it will touch at 1 point. If degree is 3, it will intersect at 3 points. Okay, got it? So it will be like this at x-axis, they are intersecting at x-axis. This is x-axis, y-axis. The graph is like this: 1, 2, 3 points. A, B, C. Then this is the graph of a cubic polynomial. So by the graph also we can recognize. So they are going to ask objectives or study based questions on the concept. So we should know all these concepts. Okay. Now we have the relation between zeros and coefficients of a polynomial. Next topic is we have the relation between, this is a formula and the questions we have to do on this formula. So now we have the between relation between zeros and the coefficients of a quadratic polynomial. We are going to see only for quadratic polynomial. We have only quadratic polynomial relation in our course is for quadratic polynomial. That means I told you that zeros. Suppose let px be a polynomial, quadratic polynomial. So ax square, standard form of this is ax square plus bx plus c. So ABC, A is the coefficient of x square, B is the coefficient of x, and C is a constant term. So these are called the coefficients of a polynomial, ABC. So ABC are the coefficients of polynomials. These are the coefficients. C is a constant term and AB are the coefficients in general ABC. And suppose suppose alpha beta are the zeros of, suppose alpha, we generally denote zeros by alpha and beta. Suppose alpha beta are the zeros of px. Means alpha, when we put alpha, it will give value 0, and beta also. Then we have to find the relation between the zeros of a quadratic polynomial. So sum of the Then first relation is sum of the zeros, means alpha plus beta. This is always equal to minus b upon a, and product of zeros alpha beta is equal to c upon a. Is the formula. So this is what, this is the sum. We can write in language, we can say that sum of zeros, sum of zeros is equal to minus b. B is the coefficient of x. B is the coefficient of x, and a is the coefficient of x square. Coefficient of f of x square. Similarly, this is what, this is the product. So you can say in language the product of zeros of a polynomial, zeros of a quadratic polynomial is equal to c. C is what? C is the constant term. So we can say constant term divided by a. A is the coefficient of x square. Coefficient of x square. Okay.
Sir.
We are about to complete the theory part. This is for quadratic polynomial. Similarly, we have for cubic polynomial also. So I will write here for cubic polynomial also. If we have a cubic polynomial, then what are the relations between its coefficients and zeros? But this was deleted last year. This year you'll see, but you should study. So cubic polynomial. Now same thing. We are going to find the relation, but this is the main. Yeah, you will find the most of the questions on this one in your textbook also, and few questions are on cubic also. So cubic polynomial. Similarly, we will suppose let alpha, beta, and gamma, alpha, beta, and gamma be the zeros of cubic polynomial, zeros of cubic polynomial. Px is equal to ax cube plus bx square plus cx plus d. ABCD. So ABCD are the coefficients, and alpha, beta, gamma are the zeros. So relation is, there are three relations now. Number first relation, sum of the zeros, that we have seen alpha plus beta plus gamma. Here there are three zeros, so alpha plus beta plus gamma, and this will be equal to same minus b upon a. Here also minus b upon a. But here b is the coefficient of x square, a is the coefficient of x cube. Then second relation is sum of their product, means alpha into beta plus beta into gamma plus gamma into alpha, sum of the zeros, called sum of the zeros, and this will be equal to c upon a. Then third one is the product of the sum of the product of zeros. Now product of the zeros, alpha, beta, gamma, will be equal to minus b upon a. Okay. So these are the three relations for cubic polynomial. Okay, got it. Is there any
Yes, sir.
doubt now?
No, sir.
These are the key concepts which we are going to use. After this, we will see one more thing, that is discriminant. Then we can start our exercise the next period. So if you have a doubt, you can ask now. Otherwise, we have only 1 minute left. The next period we will start exercise.